Is it possible to find a Silver Age key for $1? Does that still exist today? Find out. Hey YouTube, it's Matt here. Now this is a subject that I have done a video about in the past, but when I did it, I think it had about 100 subscribers, and so there's a lot of subscribers who have never heard the story of how I acquired a Silver Age key grail for $1. And number two, I kind of apologize for the clickbaity title, but it really does apply in this one instance. I don't believe that you can find Silver Age keys for $1, or I'd be buying all of them, okay? But here is a story of how I acquired an Amazing Spider-Man, low grade, for $1. All right, this story actually happened years ago. I had literally just started to collect comic books. My two favorite characters were Conan the Barbarian and Amazing Spider-Man. Not just Amazing Spider-Man, all Spider-Man. Trust me, in the collection, I have the full run of Spectacular, full run of Web, full run of Sensational, both issues, full run of 2099 Spider-Man, and trust me, so many more one-shots, so many more mini-series. I have a big giant run of Spider-Man in the collection. I love Spider-Man. It's a classic story of the underdog, rising above and, doing good. Anyhow, what had happened, how I acquired a no joke, dope first appearance, or actually it's not a first appearance, but a number one from the Silver Age, Amazing Spider-Man number one. Now, years ago, I was driving, okay? And I had a friend in the car. And we passed a yard sale. Yes, I'm going to talk about a yard sale. So I really didn't want to stop, but my friend, she wanted to stop. She wanted to see, I don't know, knickknacks or whatever the heck she wanted to see. So she's looking at whatever, and I run across these old magazines. Now guys, these magazines were in bad shape, but they were kind of cool. They were from the 50s/60s, Popular Mechanics, which guys, if you've ever read any of those old Popular Mechanic magazines, so many cool articles in there, like just the ingenuity that people had. I really, really enjoy those. They also had National Geographic, and guys, that was a time period where there were still parts of the world that weren't fully explored yet. So definitely cool reading, nice to see, but I was just going through them, and I was actually planning on buying one or two of those books because they were dirt cheap, okay? But anyhow, I'm flipping through these old magazines, and whoa, lo and behold, I happened to run across a comic book, a single comic book amongst all of these magazines that weren't comics, okay? Well, there's just no way this is Amazing Spider-Man number one at that, and it was an Amazing Spider-Man. What are the odds of running across that randomly at a yard sale? Guys, it actually had one of those circle price tag things where somebody will write the price on it. It was for $1, okay? Now, I end up going to, I'm looking at it. I flip open the first page to look at the information there. Lo and behold, it was a 1963 book. It was the original Amazing Spider-Man number one. I take it up and I said, hey, you know what? What do you want for this? And it did have $1 on it, but I don't know. I was just asking. And this guy, I'm not saying he was older, but he was retired age. He looked at it, he goes, some of those old comic books go for a good amount, so I'm going to charge $1 for that one. Okay. So, yes, it is possible to get an Amazing Spider-Man number one for $1. I say it's possible. I'm not saying it's likely, okay? The truth is I had a $50 bill in my wallet, okay? I don't know why. I do know why I had a $50 bill, but I don't normally have $50 bills in my wallet. 20s, like that's just normal. So anyhow, I just couldn't do it. I had to give the guy the $50 bill. And so I bought Amazing Spider-Man for $1, but I gave the guy a $49 tip, and he's looking at me. He's like, "Why?" I go, "Just not." I'm like, "No, it's worth a little bit more than $1." Well, I have a feeling, and I've told this before in a previous video. I have a feeling that whenever there's family get-togethers, and if the subject of a yard sale ever comes up, this guy's probably talking about me still to this day, be like, "Yeah, this moron gave me $50 for an old comic book." I'm the brunt of the joke for him. So I think it's kind of funny. I don't know. I've never been back there for another yard sale, but if there is one, I might go. But I did talk to him, and I said, "This is, it's got a lot of, ink transfer." What had happened, because it is a low grade, guys. This is a 0.5 comic book, but I will say this. The inside pages are really, really crisp, really good, okay? What had happened was, this was in somebody's attic. Now, guys, I forget if this was his grandfather, this was his uncle, but it was somebody who had passed away. They had the comic book in an attic or something like that, and they got some moisture to it, or I don't know what, maybe heat, maybe moisture, but anyhow, it had been up there, and whenever they pulled the the magazines that were next to it, some of the ink from that magazine transferred here. It lifted some of the ink off of here onto the other magazines, but it's really not in bad shape. Honestly, I feel like a 0.5 grade. I don't know, I get it. It's not in great shape. There is some ink missing. But I have seen some comic books that are missing half of the cover get a 0.5. There's a part of me, I want to resubmit this to CGC, see what they might give for it. Because, I don't know, I just feel like a 0.5 grade, it's just a little low for it. But either way, if this is a 0.5 or a 9.4, who cares? I paid $1 for it, okay? This is an amazing book in my collection. I apologize for the clickbaity title that I'm gonna put on this, but it is still technically possible to find a Silver Age key out there for $1. So guys, don't forget to hit those antique stores. Don't forget to hit the thrift shops. Don't forget to hit the yard sale and garage sales looking for some keys. You never know what you're gonna run into. And guys, that's a part of the fun of this hobby, is finding these amazing books in the wild. I hope you guys like this retelling of a story that I've told before, but most of my viewers have not ever heard this story, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up, put a comment down below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. I want to thank everybody for watching, and you have a great day.